Okay, so first of all, like I just said, congratulations to Ashton. I think everybody knows because I saw everybody report it, but she was invited, one of 47 best players in Canada, apparently right now, which is a pretty big deal. So I'm going to have you open up just talking about that, maybe how your thoughts and feelings on that, and then reflect a little on the Ohio State series, and then they can ask you whatever they want.
Perfect. Yeah, obviously it's a huge honor to be named to that camp. It's a big camp and very excited to get that opportunity to go. But just considering the circumstances this year with COVID and all the protocols and rules having to go back to Canada, just like all the WCHA players decided to stay back and be with our school team. So.
Ashton, I suppose by the WCHA players, you guys are actually playing games and everything right now, and this gives some other Canadians a chance to get some ice time and stuff. But I'm wondering for you, how much do you think about the next Olympics, or has kind of all the uncertainty made it maybe easier at this point to just put it off and focus on the college game and everything?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of unknowns, not knowing if like worlds will even happen or if that's going to get pushed back, all that kind of stuff. But I think, yeah, I'm just focusing one day at a time, trying to stay in the present and focusing on our college games here right now.
Ashton, your thoughts on speaking of weirdness and uncertainties, this is only your guys' second road trip of the entire season. And I think you got one more on the schedule, and it's back to Mankato again. How much do you miss being able to get on the road with your teammates? Because it sounds like, especially for your team, it's always an enjoyable and fun experience.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, road trips are a lot of fun. We're very excited to get on the road for this weekend, and it seems like forever. It's like our first series was against Mankato so long ago, and that was our first road trip. So we definitely enjoy road trips and are excited for this weekend.
How important are those road trips? I think coaches talked about it. They like having them, especially earlier in the season. It's a good way to build chemistry and stuff. Has that, not having those road trips and those opportunities, have you had to find new ways to create that chemistry, or is just this whole COVID experience maybe helped, bond everyone a little more?
Yeah, I definitely think you do build a lot of relationships on the bus and get a lot of bonding that way. But we have adapted and have figured out new ways to build those relationships and stay connected with team walks and team dinners and all that kind of stuff. So.
Bemidji, what's usually unique about this road trip and playing the Beavers in their own stadium, their arena, barn, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, they're usually physical, gritty, grindy games, and they like to clog things up in the O-zone. So I think just using our speed and being creative in the O-zone will help us this weekend.
What are some of the biggest things you took from that Ohio State series, both games?
First of all, Sodes played unbelievable. She had an amazing weekend and gave us the chance to win both those games. But just like being able to capitalize on our scoring chances and bearing those big goals, I think.
Any other questions for Ashton?
Ashton, you mentioned Sodes there, going kind of back to national team and Olympics. Do the two of you ever talk about the different experiences, or do you talk even with your American teammates about the different experiences you all have with your national teams and how you're preparing, for an uncertain unknown when the Olympics are coming?
No, I haven't talked to Sodes too much. I have reached out to Sibrad. I know she's kind of in a similar situation right now, so I've definitely reached out to her and heard her thoughts on all of it.
What are Sid's thoughts? You want to share those with us?
Probably the same as mine, but yeah, I'll keep those.
Okay, that's pretty good for Ashton, I think. Ashton, thank you for being on. Congratulations again. That's a really big deal. And we'll switch it over to Maura here. I see popped on. Maura, if you want to talk a little bit about, Ashton being named to that team, one of the top 47 players in Canada, which is like massive, big country of hockey. Talk about that and maybe the Ohio State series and then what you see going forward for Bemidji.
Sure. Yeah, no, we're very proud of Ashton, and whatever the numbers are at 47, like you said, cut that down to what, 15 or so defensemen. So that means she's one of the top, don't quote me on 15, roughly in the country. So I think that's a huge statement for what Ash has done in her short career as a defenseman, but a long career with the Canadian national team at all levels, from U18 to the development team and now up to the senior national team. The respect level that they have for her as a leader, she's worn a letter, pretty sure at every level so far. And they're very, very happy to have Ashton in their program. So I think she's in a really good spot. And as she said, in answering Matt's question a little bit, to help, the better that they do at the college level, and like she said, focusing on the day-to-day, the better off they will be when it comes time to make those national teams. So I think Ashton being here and playing, Division I hockey and having somewhat of a normal season, if we can call it that, is putting her in a really good spot, because if you do talk to Sid Broad and Maddie and those guys, game time is really limited for them, and practice time is spotty too with COVID and less protocols than we have at the NCAA level. So I think Ashton's in the best spot that she can be to prepare and continue to develop, and she'll be ready to go whenever she gets the chance to try out for whatever she is trying out for, hopefully Worlds in the spring. In terms of Ohio State, what a great series, two, I think, heavyweights battling it out, to give up one goal and not come away with 2 wins is a tough pill to swallow, but I think at the same time, really encouraging. That's one of the most prolific offenses I think that we've seen this year. And you look at the numbers, they average 40 shots a game, and we gave up 1. So I think we're in a really good spot. Obviously, we want to score more goals, and that's what we've been working on this week. And that hasn't been a problem for us throughout the course of the year. So I think this weekend, moving on to Bemidji, it's a great opportunity for us to develop some, different offensive schemes. That's what we've been working on, because we want to continue to build and get better and better, and ultimately be playing our best hockey at the end of the year. So that's our focus. And this weekend's a great opportunity to go on the road and pick up some huge WCHA points.
Maura, as a coach, what are some of the things you miss about road trips, and how have you maybe tried to replicate some of those things here in the COVID era?
Yeah, team meals for one is just a casual environment where we get to, the staff tends to sit together. I wish we mingled a little bit more with the players when we're sitting, but that's where we're able to have good banter and chirp each other a little bit from table to table and just interact with them on a more casual basis. So I miss the meal settings. That's one place. The bus, we always have some good times on the bus, and I know those times will be coming soon as well. And I think, when you go away, you're able to focus just on us and just on hockey. Whereas, when you're at home, you have a few more distractions with, academics and parents and other things that come up when you're at home. So I like that aspect of the game or away trips where it's just about us. But we'll have the time this weekend, and I'm looking forward to that.
The Beavers, weird only seeing them 2 times here right now on the schedule. And usually I feel like you guys are playing them 6 or 8 times in a year.
That's true.
What is it about this year's Bemidji team that stands out to you and that you guys need to be mindful for?
Yeah, I talked to some of the players already. Don't get caught up in stats and wins and losses. This year is really weird just in terms of consistency, and Bemidji got a slow start in terms of actually starting, I believe, their season in December. They're always going to be gritty. They're always going to get in front of shots. They're always going to grind. And that's something that they're really good at year after year. They're good at that regardless of who's on the roster and what changes. So, they still have Claire DeGeorge, who I think is one of the best players in our league, and some other complementary players as well. So, can't take them lightly, and we are ready. We'll be ready for a physical matchup, and I think that's always fun. We have some great games, as you guys know, with Bemidji.
Maura, the last 4 or 5 days, the conversation's just been about Emma Soderberg. How important was that kind of a performance that weekend in order for her to build confidence? I mean, we kind of know her, but I feel like she really put herself on the map against Ohio State. Yeah, great observation, Sam. She did, right? When you can play that way against ranked teams, and like I said, a team that shoots as often as Ohio State does and has some of the best players in the country, I think you make a big statement. And she did that, and she earns all of the recognition that she gets and more. And I know what's great about Sodes is she's calm, cool, and collected, and she wants to get better. So she's not going to rest on the laurels from last weekend. She wants to continue to build. And I think for our team in front of her, that just gives us a ton of confidence. Like we talked about a lot in the first semester, we can score goals. We've got a great offense, which comes from our defense too. So when you combine those two things, great goaltending with a great offense, I think we put ourselves in a really good spot. So I'm happy for her performances, and wish we could have gotten a few goals for her on Saturday. But we've got another opportunity coming up this weekend.
Maura, kind of talking about, you guys had a great weekend this past week, but, obviously coach always wants to improve going into the next week. So what would you kind of like to see your team improve on against Bemidji State, a team you're seeing for the first time? Yeah, I think we were off for roughly 45 days. I think you guys had that number, off from games for close to 45 days, and to come back and take down the number 3 ranked team in the country, hold them to no goals, shut them out, score 1 and then get the empty netter. I thought it was and then the 1-0 game on Saturday was clearly a defensive weekend across the board. So really happy with what we did there to shut down their opportunities and limit their chances. And so offensively, we just want to get that cranking again, where our players are feeling confident when they have the puck on their sticks, and are being creative and having fun in the O-zone, because that's what it's all about. It's a feeling offensively. There is structure to it, but it's also, getting your eyes up, handling pressure, seeing space, or finding your teammates. So looking forward to getting back to that.
Maura, how did you like the atmosphere with the fans coming back? It seemed like Ohio State had a pretty good crowd. They were getting into it too as well.
I think they only had 13, but they got that OHIO cheer going, or whatever it is, which is fun. I think the back and forth is always good. And I heard our fans right away early on Friday night. So it's a step in the right direction. And I'm excited that our families got to see their daughters play live. So it was fun, added a little bit more, genuine crowd noise to the building.
Having such the long pause and then coming out the way that your team did against a team like Ohio State, were you expecting that from the pause, or maybe even practice at all?
Yeah, that's a great point. That was a huge win for us on Friday night. I mean, Ohio State was rolling their top line almost every other throughout the game. So I think they thought maybe they would win a fitness battle with us there. It was constantly 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3 with the line changes. And I was really excited with the way our team managed that and kept up. And got the win. So, you know, in talking about it, I think when you're off for that long, you're really excited to play. And so our energy and our excitement for playing somebody, and especially Ohio State, our team really likes to play the Buckeyes. So I was hopeful that we would come out and be ready to go. And the way the game went, with it being so defensive and so tight, I'm not sure that I anticipated that, but to manage it the way we did, which was really, really good, I thought, was exciting and shows our experience again.
How do you hope they carry what happened last weekend into this weekend?
Yeah, I think we can be the best team in the country. I've said that a few times. And when you beat a team like Ohio State, who could be the best team in the country, that gives you confidence. And they've beaten Wisconsin, who is right now, according to the media polls, the best team in the country. So it creates belief. And I think when you lose one on Saturday, instead of feeling like, you know, it's the end of the world, I think it puts a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, a bigger one, that we know they got away with one in our own building, and it builds that momentum towards the following weekend. So hopefully we take it out on Bemidji.
Maura, do you have everyone available this weekend?
Yes. Nice, huh?
Okay, any other questions? That was really good. Okay, well, thank you, Maura, for being on again. Ashton, thank you and congrats. And thank you guys all for being on this call. Really, really appreciate it.